Hello and welcome to Mad Mike Makes, and today we're going to do a bit of a review on these blades. Now these blades are called Freud blades in South Africa and Diablo blades in America, and the big question is, are they worth the extra spend? Stick around, I'm going to be right back. So if this is your first time on the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, just take a second and pop down and just smash that subscribe button, and while you're there, ring the bell icon if you want to receive notifications of future videos. I'm going to be building a Rubo style workbench in the near future, and you don't want to miss out on that. Now before I forget, I just want to mention that this is not a sponsored video. I've just started using this blade actually quite some time ago, and I wanted to share some information that I wish that I had before I started buying a whole lot of blades. So what is the big deal with these blades anyway? Well, we're going to look at two different things. We're going to look at the basic build of the blade, the structure of the blade, and then we're going to look at price versus cost. Cut, cut, cut. Okay, so I've uploaded this video already, and now I've had to actually take it down because my wife, aka my marketing director, came rushing through to the workshop and said, I don't know what's going on. What are you comparing this blade to? So, just for clarity's sake, before we continue with the video, I want to just add a bit of clarity here. So I'm comparing the brand, which is called Freud, which apparently is also Diablo, and they are made by the same company according to my research. And I'm comparing those blades to these ordinary silver blades that come standard on your machine, or this normal silver blades that you can buy in the big box hardware stores. So now that we've cleared that up, we can continue. So let's look at the physical differences between the blades. Number one, the Freud blade seems to me a lot lighter. I haven't physically weighed the two blades, but I can feel in my hand, I can feel that there's a weight difference. And number two, the actual teeth are about 0.5 millimeter narrower. Now, all of that will combine into a much better cut, less friction cutting through the timber. Less friction means less heat, and less heat means less wear and tear on your blade. You know, high heat on a blade does tend to fatigue the metal. Now that of course in turn means less rushing down to the sharpeners, and for me that is quite a substantial cost every time I have to take a blade in for sharpening, not from the cost of the sharpening point of view, but in terms of my time taking it there and going to collect it again. So they don't have a collection and delivery service where I live, and so that is a massive cost for me in terms of time. Now secondly, let's have a look at price versus cost. Now when you initially look at the price you're paying for something, you might think, well, you know, that looks quite expensive. But during the life of that object, whether it be a tool or in this case a blade, the price often is absolutely negligible, and in some cases not even relevant, to be quite honest. So the price is very, very different. In fact, the Freud blade is probably about 3 or 4 times more expensive to buy up front. So I think you'd agree that that is a significant difference from a price point of view. So how does cost come into play? And I think with every person it's probably a little bit different. It depends on whether you are doing this sort of thing for a business, you know, woodworking, whether you have a business or, you know, whether it depends on what you cut, depends on what kind of material you cut. If you are cutting older material, as I sometimes do, then you are probably going to want one of those cheaper blades, because if you're cutting through nails and all that sort of stuff, you really don't want to mess up a very expensive blade. It's better to buy a cheaper blade, and when the teeth have pretty much all been knocked off, you can actually throw it away, and it's no big deal. So I keep those older blades for that. So from a cost point of view, for me, this particular blade has saved me an absolute ton of money over the last few years that I've been using it, because I've had to take it for sharpening far less regularly than the other blade, and that has saved me a heap of time. In fact, it's probably paid for itself a few times over. Now, so the answer to the question posed on the thumbnail, you know, are these blades really worth it? In my particular case, absolutely, without a doubt. So I hope you found the information that I've shared in this video useful, and hopefully it'll give you the confidence to either upgrade your blade or stick with your current blade if it suits you better. And so I certainly thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day further.